I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do! For Coldplay tickets, thousands queuing at SingPost outlets, hundreds of thousands online. At the end of 2 days, a record of more than 200,000 tickets was sold for Coldplay's concert next January, when they'll be playing for an unprecedented 6 shows at the National Stadium. Why does Coldplay have such huge cultural capital? Well, let's get to the point with Dr. Rosemary Overell. Dr. Overell, why do you think, or what do you think is Coldplay's draw that sparks such a frenzy among fans over the last few days?
Yeah, I'm shocked in part that people have just gone mad and that there's so many shows being announced. And we're not talking small shows, these are huge stadium sized concerts. But at the same time, I'm not shocked because Coldplay are really a kind of vestige of the supergroup era. So I think they've got multiple people buying the tickets. So people from my generation, I'm a geriatric millennial, so who were, I guess, around when Coldplay had hit songs like Yellow and was something like sort of the last part of the Brit wave indie moment coming out of Britain in the late 90s and early 2000s. But they have kind of sustained their popularity, particularly through doing tie-ins. Also diversified their sound. So went from being a guitar band to something that had more electronic influences as well. So they also have another younger audience of Zoomers and Gen Zers. But even within that audience, there's a potential market for those who are kind of almost nostalgic for the early millennial phase.
Well, it also may show that, Singapore is a hub for cultural tourism, be it concerts, musicals, and sports. And that will probably call for a longer conversation, Dr. Overell. But just for the case of Coldplay, what do you make of the strategy of the organizers to heighten demand for the tickets for the first 4 shows? And of course, announcing the fifth and then the sixth show.
The way that the tickets were paced by the touring company is very smart. For although a band like Coldplay or any musical band is going to sort of generate good feelings and emotions in the audience, and there's that desire, I've got to get the ticket. That song meant so much to me when I was a teenager, or I played that song at my wedding, or whatever. These bands and musicians are commodities, and they're managed by people whose motivation isn't just to make you feel good or get folks nostalgic in the stadium, but is to turn a profit. And the best way to do that is to have a sense of urgency in the consumer, because there's perhaps another market there of the folks who just want to get in on what everybody else is doing. Though people are sort of a bit saying this is again millennial, but I still think FOMO, fear of missing out, is a big driver within consumer markets. Perhaps also post-COVID, people are keen to get out and go to these big stadium shows.
Well, hot off the heels of Coldplay's, ticketing frenzy, the Sports Hub just announced that Taylor Swift, a little-known musical artist, will be coming to Singapore for 3 nights in March. Are you expecting a similar level of ticket buying intensity that we saw with Coldplay?
It might be even more intense. The Eras tour is almost shorthand for intense fanish desperation for tickets in America already. And I think Swifties are just as keen in Singapore, but again, also the region. These Swifties might congregate in Singapore, to see their idol. And also, in a way, she might be arguably more popular at present than Coldplay. She's a more contemporary star. She's a current star releasing, new LPs, and of course has been the topic of much conversation, again, generating interest in her tour with her personal life recently. And her fans have a sort of huge, real parasocial relationship with her. She has her old fans, even from her country music singing days, and her newer fans. Then we've even got family fans, the proverbial Taylor Swift dad, who's the dad who's bringing his teenage daughter along to see the concert. And there you've got two tickets, right? The girl, the teenage girl, and the chaperone, the father. Apart from tie-ins, what we'd call cross promotions, concerts and live events are the key money maker rather than CD sales. So there's this idea that the concert isn't just simply watching your favorite band and singing along. It's a real commodified experience of connecting with your pop idol.
Very interesting perspectives. Thank you so much, Dr. Overell.